You ever wonder why a build-your-own taco bar costs way more than someone just handing you a taco? It is not because the toppings are fancy, it is because that little bar is basically a tiny factory that needs a manager. Vendors call these interactive food experiences, but really it is controlled chaos with a serving spoon. The second guests get to touch their own food, everything about staffing and safety gets more complicated. Think about it like a school cafeteria, except everyone is an amateur and nobody read the rules. That means the vendor has to build a whole system before a single tortilla gets warmed. First thing they think about is supervision. You cannot just set out chicken, cheese, and salsa and walk away like it is a buffet at a casino. Someone has to stand there the whole time, watching portions, catching the person who double dips the serving spoon like it is nobody's business. That person is basically a food referee, blowing an invisible whistle every time hygiene goes sideways. Then there is sanitation, which sounds boring but is honestly the most important part of the whole operation. Every station needs fresh utensils, gloves, and a plan for what happens when raw chicken juice gets near the lettuce. Cross-contamination is the villain in this story, and it does not care about your Instagram aesthetic. One slip and suddenly the cute taco bar becomes a very expensive apology email to 50 guests. So vendors build in extra labor hours just for cleaning and swapping utensils constantly. That is not vendors being extra. That is basic health code, the kind that keeps people out of the emergency room. Now let us talk portioning, because interactive stations are secretly a math problem wearing a fun hat. If guests scoop their own food, some people take a polite spoonful and some people build a plate like they are training for a competitive eating event. Vendors have to plan for that unpredictability, which means ordering more product than a plated dinner would ever need. Basically, freedom of choice is delicious, but it is also expensive insurance against Uncle Gary loading up on brisket. This is why pricing for these stations is not just ingredient cost plus a little markup. It is ingredient cost plus extra staff for supervision plus sanitation supplies plus a buffer for portion overages that always happens no matter how you plan it. A lot of clients get confused and think a self-serve station should be cheaper since guests are doing some of the work. In reality, it usually needs more staff per guest than a simple plated meal, because someone always has to be present, watching, restocking, and cleaning. History actually backs this up, since buffet-style service has always needed more oversight than table service, going all the way back to old-school cafeteria lines. The independence guests feel is only possible because there is a quiet, constant layer of labor making sure nothing goes wrong behind the scenes. So next time you build your own bowl at an event, know that the fun little station is actually a small operation with its own safety plan, staffing chart, and pricing formula. It looks casual, but it is one of the most carefully engineered parts of the whole event. If you want to learn more about how vendors actually plan and price experiences like this, check out our links in the description.